All right. Well, you know, when Yahoo announced earlier this year that it was essentially putting itself for sale or parts of itself up for sale, a lot of people said, okay, this should be interesting. Like, who's going to bid? Turns out everybody and his uncle was interested, including now, we are told, Warren Buffett, who'd be interested in coordinating something with a number of others, including the guy who heads Quicken Loans. Peter Gornstein is looking at all of this very, very closely, a former Yahoo senior executive producer, now the Cheddar CCO. All right, so you're looking at all of this, Peter, and with Buffett coming in, that's a big change because he adds an air of respectability to what seemed to be sometimes outlandish interests. But what's going on?
Yeah, I think what's happening here is it's an atypical deal for Buffett because he said he doesn't really understand tech. He hasn't really invested much in tech in the past. But it is familiar to him because he knows Dan Gilbert really well. He likes to do deals with people that he knows. He knows Dan Gilbert well. He knows the Yahoo team pretty well. They just streamed his annual shareholder meeting, and that was successful. They had over 1 million viewers for that. They have, you know, still very large audiences. Although it may be a declining business, they still have massive audience, and there's value there.
You know, it comes at the same time when there's a, you know, Gannett keeps coming back to Tribune Publishing, arguing that there's value there. And I think both stories are joined at the hip in this sense, that there wasn't a time that long ago when both were dismissed as just about dead on arrival. What happened? What changed?
Well, I think with Yahoo, the situation is, if you look closely, they still have one of the largest audiences on the web. Like I said, it's a declining business. They need to fix their mobile business a bit and grow the audience there. But if you took away the name Yahoo and said, I'm going to give you a company that has almost 1 billion monthly users. It has Yahoo. It has a finance property that's #1. It has a sports property that's #1 or #2. It has products that people still like to use. So if we interviewed Barry Diller a couple of weeks ago, and he said something really smart, and it was, let's not make Yahoo great again. The owner, the new buyer, should come in and say, we're really good at this, strip away everything else, and then run it as a cash flow business. And I think that's probably what Buffett's looking at. And he says, from a financing point of view, it's a safe deal.
Cash flow from what? I guess we'll have to see.
And I think with Gannett and Tribune, you have strong broadcast businesses there. So,
yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that.
And then Gannett also, it's scale play, I guess. I mean, you know, if you're going to be in the newspaper business, you might as well be the #1, and that's how you can bring in big advertising dollars. I think that's the only way to play newspapers anymore.
Yeah, leverage off, you know, the Los Angeles Times, the Chicago Tribune, key properties. All right, thank you. Very good having you again.
Pleasure to be here.